28,000 American servicemen and women have been seriously wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan, but many return home only to be neglected by the Veterans Care System. Now a presidential panel has recommendations for overhauling that system, and CBS News senior White House correspondent Bill Plant reports.
The president jogged around the South Lawn with Sergeant Neil Duncan, who lost both legs in Afghanistan, and Specialist Max Ramsey, who lost one in Iraq.
They got dealt a tough hand, and they're playing it with all their soul.
Mr. Bush's point to say that he, too, endorses an overhaul of veterans care at a time when more seriously injured troops are surviving with stress disorders and brain injuries.
Anytime we have somebody hurt, they deserve the best possible care, and their family needs strong support.
The disclosure in March of problems at Walter Reed Army Medical Center triggered multiple investigations. A presidential commission headed by former Health Secretary Dole-Shalala and former Senator Bob Dole, himself a wounded vet, recommended sweeping changes. Among them, treatment for stress disorder and brain injury, better family support, and electronic patient information sharing. Sarah Wade's husband, Ted, is one of 644 vets to lose a limb and one of 2,700 to suffer head trauma. They welcome the commission report, but
if Congress doesn't give the Department of Defense or the Department of Veterans Affairs the funding they need to actually carry through with these things, then they're worthless.
The Senate did pass a bill calling for better procedures and more money, even as Democrats took a swipe at the White House, telling them to order the VA to comply. Everyone wants to be on board for better treatment for vets. Problem is, it's still going to take a while to put these recommendations into effect. Bill Plant, CBS News, the White House.
Paul Rieckhoff is the executive director of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Good morning.
Good morning, Harry.
What's your reaction to this report yesterday?
Well, I think what this report shows us is that fundamental change is necessary system-wide. The Walter Reed scandal from the spring of this year is really just the tip of the iceberg. So the key here is going to be follow-through. We've seen a lot of commissions come and go. We need the president, the Congress, and the entire country to rally and ensure that all 6 of these recommendations are implemented and implemented quickly.
He said, I'm going to pass this on to Secretary Gates. Do you have faith that these recommendations will, in fact, be implemented?
No, right now I don't. I mean, the president was a little dismissive at first. Tony Snow says we'll get to it. We need immediate action here. We need these recommendations are simple, like supporting Walter Reed through its closure in 2011, supporting military families. Dole-Shalala have made the steps very simple. We need the president to really put the hammer down here and make sure it happens. If we're serious about taking care of our veterans, this is an easy plan to do it.
How much are these people suffering? I mean, we've done numerous stories. We've talked before. Yeah. Do you think the White House gets it? Do you think the top echelons of the military get it, or the Veterans Administration?
I don't think they do, to be honest with you. It took this scandal to really force this commission forward. This commission very easily could have happened in 2003, but it only happened after viewers like yours called the White House, called their congressman, and there was a real outroar nationwide to force a commission like this to be stood up. We failed our veterans in many ways, and many of them and their families are suffering severely.
This commission was very careful not to place any blame. This was all about recommendations, how to move forward, Should they have placed blame? Should somebody have been held accountable for what's clearly been, this is not opinion, a fact of failure?
Absolutely. I mean, there's enough blame to go around. The president is definitely responsible for not prioritizing veterans issues. But the 2 other key people here are Secretary Rumsfeld and now Secretary Gates, who run the Department of Defense, and Secretary Nicholson, who's head of the VA, who actually announced his resignation last week. So in the middle of this crisis and the news of this report, the Secretary of the VA is going to be leaving. So we're going to need strong leadership here. We're going to need immediate follow-through, and we're going to need attention to continue to be focused on this. We can't let it fall away again.
If people want to see change, they're going to have to keep pressure on
Absolutely.
Washington.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Paul, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you, Harry.
Do appreciate it.